Hey, it's the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Monsters Inc., the Pixar classic from 2001. It runs about an hour and 32 minutes, and that's all I got to say. No, it's honestly, this is uh, obviously one of the Pixar classics, building on the success of the early Toy Story films. Why is my hair? This hair's gonna get cut at some point. It's gonna by hand. So anyway, um, yeah, this is the original one, not Monsters University, which is the sequel. Um, I love this film. Just to get right to the point, I still like Monsters University a little bit better. Believe it or not, I know that might be sacrilege to some, but I just like a lot of it. Just it looks so much better. This is obviously in an era in which it shows its age technologically, with the graphics and the visual design and everything else. It's one of the things that you'll find with just about any 3D animated film from this era. And these guys were still at the top of the game, better than anybody, doing it better than anybody at that time. So anybody on other animation teams were doing good, but not as good as Pixar, the Disney, Pixar, the gang. But in this situation, there's always things that bother me when it comes to the early Pixar films that shows their age, whether it's Incredibles or Toy Story. The humans that are depicted still look so dead and uncanny valley-ish, and they tricked me at the beginning again because I forgot that the opening sequence is a sort of a Kobayashi Maru kind of situation where Star Trek reference, um, where the monsters are being tested on robot fake children, and I was like, that kid looks really fake. Well, he's supposed to look fake because he's not real. But even Boo, little girl, she sort of has this dead-eyed look to her, and yeah, she's adorable. It's fun. It works when she connects with Sully, especially, and Mike. But if this movie was made today and we saw Boo animated, she would look completely different. She would look so much more. And again, it's nothing against the people who were animating it at the time. It shows the evolution of the technology and the skill and the craftsmanship that goes into the Pixar films. They're constantly evolving. They're constantly growing, and the tools and the speed and the power in which to make these animation things just increases over time. So yeah, it's not saying this is awful and looks bad. It's just my main things are like the mouth and how teeth always seem to have lighting on them, even though they're inside of a mouth, and yet the mouths are usually black inside, dark. Yeah, that's the main thing between that I have with animation from 20 years ago. Okay, this movie is almost 20 years old. 19. Yeah, it's about 19 years old. Came out in 2001. So it's great for its time. I love the hair animation, but you can see that as time goes on with like Brave and of course the next Monsters University and The Incredibles and everything else, and just about any film, all other Toy Stories that come out, uh, this the hair animation gets so much better. Water animation, everything else. I'm nerding out over the technological limitations and achievements of water and hair in this movie. Sorry. I should really talk about the story and the characters and the people who are behind this. This is I think Pete Docter is the director. Yeah, Pete Docter with there's other, I think Lee Unkrich and David Silverman. Yeah, they were co-directors on this. Yay for IMDb. They were co-directors on this, but it's a Pete Docter film for the most part. And we have John Goodman and Billy Crystal as Sully and Mike, respectively, leading this. One of the things they also brought over, sort of to hedge their bets, I think, maybe it's just they like working with him, getting Randy Newman to do the music, even though he doesn't sing the "You Got a Friend in Me" kind of song. It's a song about friendship at the end, but it's John Goodman and Billy Crystal singing it together at the very end. So, but it's totally if you listen to it, it's 100% a Randy Newman type song. So yeah, and we have other characters like Steve Buscemi playing Randall, James Coburn as Waternoose, the boss. So yeah, this is we got some we got a great cast in this. Jennifer Tilly plays Celia, and there's a bunch of other guys who are, I think, animators or working with this, working behind the scenes on this, and ended up getting the roles or story behind that. I think this is one of those. I think Roz, is that situation. But also you also get what you call it. John Ratzenberger plays the Yeti, the abominable snowman, but he's the adorable snowman. Really, he wants to be the adorable snowman. So yeah, it's a great cast. Oh, Frank Oz is in this too. Frank Oz. Let me check this out. He plays Fungus. He does. Yeah, I think he's one of the dorky monster kids. I think. Not sure. Yeah, there's a lot of monsters in this, but along the way, yeah, this whole story is one of those things that Pixar is really good at. It's taking sort of old stories and concepts and ideas and mythology that isn't even really officially mythology from our childhood. The idea of the monster under the bed or the monster in the closet. This is things that we all grow up with, that we have this, fear of the unknown, fear of the darkness, fear of what's in there, of what's, hidden that we cannot see when we're really little. And it turns out that's what monsters feed on, our screams, our fears. But what's even more interesting, the twist they put into this, obviously, is that they're more scared of us than we are of them, and it's a nice little lesson to sneak in there for the kids to not be scared of Don't be scared of the dark. Don't be afraid of the dark. Don't be scared of monsters. Or even if there are monsters in the closet, they're more scared of you, and they might even be funny and friendly. Who knows? In certain situations, that might be a dangerous story concept to take, but for the most part, when you're very little and you have no concept of the evil that's out there, you just know of monsters. And yeah, this is a pretty interesting little way to put things, and I think it's one of the reasons why people love this film so much, because it touches on certain things and it from our childhood that is almost innate in every one of us, no matter where you're from. And it shows that each of these closet doors opens up to different parts around the world. It makes that kind of that idea universal. It's not just something a few kids here and there in the United States deal with. There are doors that open up to kids' rooms all around the world. So yeah, that's kind of crazy, kind of cool. There are a few little weird discrepancies in this that obviously that the sequel messed with, where Mike says, "Oh, you've been jealous of me since the 4th grade," to Sully, and they only met in college, so there's some interesting little tidbits there. That's one of my nitpicks, but I'm sure it's been explained away by now by uber fans. There's tons of little monster puns throughout this thing. The one blob creature falls through a grate in the street, and he goes, "Oh, great." So yeah, it's just dumb little jokes like that make this so fun. And there's just lots of little visual gags that you just have to see. And of course, there's little Pixar references throughout. There's a moment when you're in Boo's room, and you see her handing toys to Sully, and there's a Jessie doll. There is a Nemo doll, little Nemo fish. There's also the Pixar ball with the star on it. So yeah, there's all sorts of little things. I forget where the A113 shows up, but yeah, you can figure that out yourself. Yeah, I could go on and on about this film, but if you haven't seen it already, if you've seen it already, I don't even need to convince you how good this is, how fun this is. And if you haven't seen it, then it's about time. Yeah, it's about time you put this on your list. Go through all the Pixar films is my recommendation. You will find more gold than crap in any of them. There's a few stinkers here and there, I will not say, but there are 95% of the time they knock it out of the park, and this is one more situation. And then, of course, I mean, the thing is, we watched Monsters University on this Everyday Challenge thing a couple weeks ago. It's been a while. I've lost all track. So it was kind of neat to see the prequel. It's a prequel. The Monsters University is the story of how they met and how they became who they are. And so you get to see, it's kind of neat to see it in reverse in a sense, even after all this time, to see them at their youth and then in their adulthood on the scare floor. Speaking of scare floor, one of my favorite things of this is just the thought that went into the technology of this monster world, of how they move the doors around and how they put them in place and how they connect with science or magic, whatever it is, connects to these different parts of the world, to these doors and other places. It's a like the Portal game in a sense, and it's a concept that's not exactly new to science fiction, but it's still pretty cool how they depict it. And plus, they turn it into the equivalent of a car chase in the latter part of the film. So seeing how the doors move throughout the factory, and it's just, and how they move in and out of each of these doors to escape somebody who's coming after them. So or chase down the guy who has something they want. So it's a great, fun, thrilling. It's a Pixar movie. So there you go. I think it's time to pick tomorrow's Everyday Challenge episode. Let's see what we got. 7:14. 7:14 towards the end. We have not seen this. Ooh, we just missed the Toy Story movie. So we're in the tease, but we have looks like it's a documentary, probably from Nat Geo, I'm guessing. I could be wrong. I was wrong last time. But it's Trail of the Panda. Trail of the Panda. 7:14 on my list. Hopefully it's not blurry to you. Anyway, we're going to watch a little documentary about Trail of the Panda on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and I'll see you back here tomorrow to talk about it. See you then. Bye.